In this life, we are almost raised by society, whether that be by the society and the people individually around us, or the media that we grew up seeing, or even just the personal rules that we observe by looking around us and how others behave. We realize that there are certain ways to act in this life, things that are noble, things that are good, things that can be seen as right or wrong. But oftentimes, I would say that for many people who care so much about being good people, about being moral people, about being someone who has a positive impact on this earth, a lot of times I feel that that can be almost a hindrance in a sense because morality is something that is not inherently true. It is not inherently a universal truth, meaning that this is something that is moral, this is something that is not. Because morality in itself is a human made concept and is something that is not necessarily fluent for us to understand. Because what may be proper and correct and fine in one society may be taboo or wrong or looked down upon in another. And that is to say that it is something as a collective we decide what is okay and is what is not. And of course, that is something that can change. I think in past generations, sex even was looked as something that was taboo and not to be talked about as much. And in many cultures and countries today, that is still the truth. But nowadays, you look at Western media, it is almost so prevalent that we see things like that. And it's almost pushed out to us for enjoyment to be almost encouraged for us to observe and entertain ourselves with that. And I'm not saying that that is something that is right or wrong. Actually, I would like to zoom out and take ourselves back, take a step back and look at what is the concept of morality. What is right or wrong? Because when you look at it, the light and the darkness are one. The good and the bad encapsulate something greater. And that is the truth. Because in this life, yes, we live in a life of duality, but that duality is one. The yin and the yang are one, okay? And this is not to say that so morality does not exist, so we are to throw our morals completely and entirely. It's quite the contrary. What I'm proposing to you is not something to tell you what to do, but rather something for you to look at, something for you to observe and put into your consciousness a level of awareness and understanding of what is an inherent truth and in what is something that you were taught. Okay? Because in this life, technically speaking, we are not obligated to do anything. We are not obligated to be good. We are not obligated to be bad. We are not obligated to help other people. And that is where, one, I believe, the beauty of helping other people comes in. But two, where our whole lives in our character, in our persona come from, is from the choices that we decide to make. Because, yes, of course, when you help other people, that energy will eventually come back to you. That positive energy will come back to you. When it comes from an earnest place of not wanting to gain anything, but rather just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake of being kind, just for the sake of being helpful. But you might be thinking, so what? Am I supposed to be good? Am I supposed to be bad? You are supposed to be whatever you're supposed to be. Simply be as you are. Because when you look at this life in the totality of your actions, of good and bad, you are looking through a perspective that is not an inherently true perspective. It is one that is clouded. It is a perspective that has a filter, a lens over it. So if you take off that filter, you'll see that, yes, light and dark are one. But what is the nature of light and dark? What is the nature of the yin and the yang? And are we naturally guided towards the light? Or is it just that in all these stories and all these movies of heroes fighting the villains and winning, is that just because we think that's how we're supposed to be and we want to be successful? Or that we're supposed to be like that, so we strive to be like that because society tells us this? Or is it just that light naturally casts out the shadows? Is it that light naturally wins over? I think that is one way of looking at it. That life is supposed to prevail over death. That even if in life, in humanity, there is death, there is always rebirth. But likewise, when something is born, it must die. So in reality, there is no light winning or dark winning, because the totality of it is oneness. It is a cycle of birth and death, birth and rebirth. So is it that humans are naturally guided towards the light, or is it just that the light brings out everything? When the light is cast upon something, you see it. When the shadow is cast upon something, you do not see it. Likewise, within ourselves, are we more likely to go towards what we see within ourselves versus what we don't see? So, what I'm asking for you is to see this within yourself, internally, the lightness and the darkness within you, the shadow as well as the light. Because the shadow is not something to be looked upon as bad or evil. Merely, it is the shadow. It is something that is in the dark. But darkness is not inherently bad. The unknown is not inherently bad. Simply, the unknown is just what has not been looked at yet. Is it not? And the only way to get rid of the shadow is to cast light upon it, the light of your attention. It is simple as that. And within the duality of this life, there could be nothing. There could be totality of this life, nothingness. Like when you are asleep, pure void. Likewise, there could be nothing but awakeness, this present life, this physical life, constantly something occurring. But the experience is one. It's both. Because when you look at the totality of your life, you look at both the sleep and the awake, because they are one. So in reality, existence, the totality of everything, is nothingness and everythingness. And so, at a certain point, when we look at anything in this life, it comes down to duality and unity. Because everything is one. And so, I would like to say to you that if you were to be anything in this life, whether that be good, bad, light, dark, be as you are. That which takes no effort. Because look, you are here, you are being, and that takes no effort of your own. Simply you are here. Simply you exist. Without the effort of your own. Without your own effort, you have been born into this life. And you observe, feel, sense all this that is around you. without the effort of your own. Even you hearing my own voice happens instantaneously, without any effort. And simply, to be as you are is simply the only thing that you must do. And it is that which is automatic. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.